Is it possible for a striker-fired 9mm to keep up with hammer-fired guns? Is the hype train known as the Walther PDP coming to a halt? When will the rest of the US realize that Philly cheesesteaks don't have peppers on them? We're gonna break it down into 5 key categories and give you everything you need to know on the Walther PDP Match in 5 minutes or less. Since we have both the polymer and metal frame version, we'll judge them both and find out which one is best. First off, the build quality on these is solid. The metal frame version feels a bit more solid, but that's likely because it has slightly larger frame rails, it's heavier, etc. We tested to see if we could swap the slides on the two guns, and no, you cannot. During our range day, we did run into a couple malfunctions with the metal frame gun. Oh, did it lock open? Did not lock open for you.
Failure to feed.
Another malfunction, it's a stovepipe this time. But after a call to Walther, we found out that the gun just needed some lube, as ours was one of the first 50, and it turned out to be a little bit on the dry side. After that, it ran flawlessly. Turns out the gun needed to be well lubricated.
Super oiled.
Not a single mouth, that is a drastic change.
Yeah.
Overall, both guns feel like premium striker-fired guns. Nothing about them feels janky, and that gets them a 4 out of 5 for quality. TCRT offers affordability and long-lasting targets for any range. They're easy to set up and will take a ton of rounds. You can paint them over and over and keep the fun going. You can also swap them in place of steel targets to stop yourself from training to that ping sound. Check out tcrt.com and use TGC10 at checkout to save some cash. When it comes to ergonomics, both of these guns are very similar, but there are some slight differences. The polymer gun has interchangeable back straps, the metal does not, and a slightly different takedown method. And that makes it more slim than the metal frame gun with its grip panels and flip-up style lever for takedown. Obviously, the metal gun is a good bit heavier at 41 ounces versus 26.9 for the polymer frame gun. Both guns have a healthy sized slide release in a super accessible place. The grip shape is excellent, and I don't think I could really ask for much more. I think I prefer the slightly wider stance of the metal frame gun, but I'll give them both a 5 out of 5 for ergos. It's just chef's kiss. These things are dripping in features, so I'm just gonna hit the highlights. Aggressive slide cuts with speed holes up front.
What you diddly doing, neighbor?
I'm putting speed holes in my car.
Good grip texture all around, including front strap checkering on the metal frame gun. It's got giant mag wells on both of them, and they're also cut for optics. Ours were wearing some Gideon optics for this review. The optic plates actually have some sort of like recoil lugs on the bottom of them, which is cool, and they can be had in several different types of optic cuts. However, the guns don't ship with one. They will ship you one for free, but you have to reach out to them and order it. Slightly annoying, but it's free, so half a point off for that. The guns both ship with 3 18-round magazines. Every other gun company needs to follow this trend. 3 should be standard at this point. The trigger is listed as 4.5 to 5.5 pounds, but it doesn't feel like that at all. The reset is super short and the break is really, really clean. It's probably the best striker-fired trigger I've ever used. 4.5 out of 5. That trigger. Oh my goodness. In terms of accuracy, with the combo of that amazing trigger, a really good grip shape, and good balance overall, I was able to put down some of the best groups I've shot with any pistol that we've reviewed. Josh's grips were not as good, but he's working on making some tweaks to his grip, so we'll cut him a little bit of slack on that. This is right up there for me with the EDC X9, the Springfield Prodigy, and the DWX, none of which are striker-fired guns. 4 out of 5 since it wasn't a laser gun for both of us. Now, the biggest question everyone will have is how much? We have to talk about the value proposition here. The MSRP for the polymer frame version is $1,100. The MSRP on the steel frame is $1,900, a whopping $800 more for the metal frame. Now, the steel frame is batting in a different league based on that price. However, I was able to pull performance out of it that I was getting from guns that are much more expensive, so I really can't get down on it for that. It's a flat-out excellent gun, and if I was going to a match this weekend, that's the one I would take. I really, really like that gun. 5 out of 5 for value. That brings a total score to 22.5 out of 25, which is an excellent score. Now, I will say this, based on the performance that I pulled out of the polymer gun and the price, that is currently the best polymer striker-fired gun on the market. Scratch that, this is the best striker-fired gun on the market, regardless of which frame you pick. It's just that good. It's really, really good.
Do you like the Walther?